Hello, everybody, and welcome to Graded Point Live.
What up?
Yep.
God fucking damn it! It is current year +5! How the many fucking things did you have to fucking ruin? Holy shit!
Mike is a little upset.
Thousands of dollars have gone into this woman, for fuck's sake! Ah!
I think the best part was the echo at the end there. Yeah, Mike has a strong opinion about tonight's show. By the way, Mike, Xavier and I owe you an apology.
What?
We owe you an apology. Apparently, we
what?
owe you an apology for being white.
I'm sorry, I'm white, Mike. I'll try to do better next time.
Yeah, I'm really trying,
dope.
but for some reason, I can't. It just won't go away. I mean, I can't wipe it off.
I'm sorry I'm male. I'm sorry I'm white. That's the only thing the banana atheist was good for.
So what did I just walk into? Mike had he's upset because he thought this particular thought was dealt with, but
It's been 5 fucking years. Holy shit. We are old men fighting a war like we're struggling over fucking 1 kilometer of entrenched ground in World War One.
mm-hmm.
So we had this hill.
Yeah, she just moved. The problem is she moved the hill.
She tanked a fucking, a famous brand.
Mm-hmm.
She tanked her fucking her own game efforts. That'll never come to fruition. So much so that she can't ever vote, and she whines about it because then people can serve her legal papers for scamming them on Kickstarter.
Mm-hmm. In case you're wondering, we're talking about Zoe Quinn.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Just
Take a minute and
think-
collect yourself.
You'd think that people would learn from the dozens of projects that she's been involved with that she ultimately fucking tanked. What was it? It was that the Game Jam, right? Fucking tanked.
Yep.
Then she started gathering money for a Rebel Jam. Fucking never went anywhere.
Yep.
She started.
Did they get their money back for that?
No. So fucking Patreon money for I think it was her depression quest. Never, nothing fucking done with that shit. Just gone into her vapid cunt. Holy fuck!
She's given special permission from Patreon to not produce anything, but still collect money. A rule that she put in place. She helped put in place to punish other people.
But not
You
her.
have to produce something
Yep.
on Patreon if you want Patreon money.
Yep. Right there. That's the.
That was all so they could get Frederick Brennan kicked off of Patreon. That was the only reason. Because originally it was for coding, and then he changed it to be for his cat.
Yep.
He would make pictures of a cat, and then people would give him money for cat pictures, and then he would squirrel it over to actually run 8chan with. But no. And then where else would she fucking?
Don't forget her last Kickstarter that she never fulfilled.
Kickstarted in the butt. Holy shit! How much fucking money was thrown into that? Fucking.
We'll go look it up.
Oh, check this out. Her Patreon's down to $1,300 a month.
You know, it's funny because normal people could in a nice, quiet city could probably live on that.
But she lives in San Francisco. Oh.
Would you say that Zoe is the San Francisco treat?
$85,000 fucking dollars went into that goddamn Kickstarted in the butt Kickstarter. Holy shit! And then she went fucking silent on that. And then last year she went to fucking Japan to one of the most expensive fucking hotel resorts up there.
Yep.
You want to know how we figured that shit out? Japanese resorts and hotels have their own unique patterns of cloth for their robes, which is kind of fucking neat. And Otis figured out that she was paying something like $1,500 a night just to go to this one spa. Spa/hotel.
Yeah, and to hook up on Japanese Tinder.
Yeah, to hook up on Japanese Tinder.
No shit. You're telling me Zoe Quinn went across the pond to fuck somebody?
Not just somebody, a whole multitude of somebody's, judging from the fact that she was having trouble with fucking Tinder. Oh my god!
They know better over there.
You'd think.
The best part is the game was almost done when she started raising money.
That was the claim.
She never released it.
That was the claim.
Apparently. Oh my god!
So why are we bringing up her now? You know, besides the fact that she somehow tanked an entire comic book, or helped tank an entire comic book label.
That Dynamite Comics. What was it? That fucking Goddess Mode?
No, that was DC Comics, but it was through Vertigo.
You're thinking of the Addams Family one shot she's getting.
Yeah. Okay. So the one shot, then she's involved with Goddess Mode, and that's starting to tank Vertigo, and you can't convince me otherwise that it isn't fucking her fault that Vertigo Comics is going under.
Well, it had there was a few things, but it was all kind of the same kind of.
It was all her friends.
Well, yeah. Well, I was going to say it's all the same kind of toxic stew that caused it. I mean, you had Eric Esquivel, respecting women really, really hard. And then Robbie Rodriguez, showing his butthole to everybody, which was her artist, by the way. I just want to point out.
Fuck. Yeah. Amazing. Oh, God.
And then and it doesn't help that Goddess Mode was like trash.
I didn't think it was funny that he hid Goatsy in there.
It's always an art form to hide Goatsy everywhere. Holy shit. I've hidden Goatsy in places. I remember I remember seeing where his rings are, in fact.
Yep.
I need fucking brain bleach. Anyway, we're going on to why we're talking about this vapid cunt now. Holy shit.
As many of you well know, Marvel Comics is on fire.
And
well, Marvel Editorial has decided that they're not burning down fast enough.
Nope.
No.
So, I'm just imagining Sana Amanat and Joe Quesada got together, right? And it's like, we got to figure, we're burning this as fast as we can, but it just seems not going fast enough. How the fuck do we burn it down even faster? I don't know. Hire Zoe
Quinn was driving by.
Yeah.
And she saw this fire and thought, how can this benefit me?
Mm-hmm. What really amazes me, and now I'm going to give Bounding Into Comics a little bit of shit here, because the title is Marvel Comics hires Zoe Quinn to write Hellcat story, but they're showing a picture of Sue Storm.
Amazing. Absolutely wonderful. Thank you.
This is going to be... All right, I'm going to go ahead and say this. Tonight's episode is going to be very focused, and it's going to be like a Zach video, where...
Mm-hmm. We're going to try, at least.
Where we're going to go into it and then explain the coded language in it as well, from statements and stuff like that. I found that to be fun when I did the Mark Waid story yesterday on my video.
We're also going to cough a lot.
Yeah, we'll cough a lot. Oh, and I got to mention something, guys. I just want to point out why there wasn't a show last night. That was totally on me.
He actually had Benadryl poisoning.
Well, it wasn't poisoning, Mike. I just...
I mean, it incapacitated you.
What it was, I thought I was taking some Tylenol for a headache. Because it was those Benadryl, the Benadryl that are like white and pink caplets. Mm-hmm. And they look like the Tylenol caplets that are white and red. And I wasn't even noticing the bottle. I just like, oh, here's 2 of those, and took them. And why am I feeling so tired all of a sudden? I mean, it was like sudden, like about 15, 20 minutes. I'm like, I really feel tired. So I called back downstairs. I was like, hey, what's that? Wasn't that Tylenol on your thing? She said, no, that was Benadryl. Oh, okay.
See? Straight up fucking Benadryl poisoning.
Well, I mean, doesn't poisoning like slowly kill you? I mean, that's just maybe go to sleep.
No, you can. Okay, so like being like drunk, that's kind of poisoning.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking eating a type of spice is actually kind of poisoning. But the point is you can be poisoned without dying from it. It's just that effectively
you get sick from it.
Well, I didn't get sick. I just went to sleep.
Yeah.
That's...
Therefore, you were Benadryl poisoned.
Yeah.
I mean,
also, how did you know you were sick or not? You were asleep.
Did you or did you not want to take Benadryl?
I didn't know I was.
Therefore, you were poisoned by Benadryl. So let's move on further. He almost died from.
I did not almost die from fucking. You know, the recommended dose is 1 or 2, right? I mean, you could take up to 2 Benadryl at a time.
Yeah, but can you fucking do anything afterwards? No.
Well, maybe I didn't want to. I don't know. After I figured out,
the best thing since fucking weed. I swear to God, if you want to actually sleep, just take like a Benadryl before you go to bed.
Well, that's what I said. I said, well, you know, that happened. And I was like, well, I guess I'm just gonna go take a nap, right? Because it wears off about 3 hours. You know, it's pretty much done. But still, that was a good 3 hour sleep. I'll say that. Felt kind of refreshed. But anyway. So yeah, let's go into this.
Hopefully you don't get addicted to Benadryl.
Oh, I'm not going to get addicted to Benadryl, lightweight. Look, I haven't taken fucking Benadryl since I was 10 years old. So
you want to take a drug and sleep really good? Heroin.
No.
For legal reasons, don't take heroin. That's a joke.
For legal reasons, that was a joke. All right, let's get to this. Marvel Comics announced they hired Zoe Quinn to write a Hellcat story in their 4-issue anthology series titled Fearless.
There you go.
There we are.
It's an anthology. That means it's okay if these stories suck. They don't count.
Quinn's Hellcat series will appear in Fearless number 3, and she spoke with Marvel.com about her upcoming story. Quinn stated, what's the best voice I can put on this?
Do something do Valley Girl.
What I love about Hellcat is that she's been through hell, literally, and instead of being bitter or mean, she's sweet and cares more about helping people than she does punishing them. It's been really fun to write for her because in addition to her own awesomeness, she's got this really excellent supporting cast of really relatable street-level supers, gig economy workers, and actual dang demons.
Actual dang demons?
This is code.
Gosh.
This is code. This is what Zach, what Zach says about this? When they start off with what I love about character means I've heard of character.
I was informed of character after I agreed to write character.
Right. She really has no idea anything about Hellcat. And I'm looking at this art and I'm like, oh boy, here we go again.
Is it gay?
Well,
really gay?
It's pretty bad, dude. I mean, here,
doesn't that just look like Zoe?
I wasn't gonna say it,
but you could color her. Yeah, color the hair purple.
Here's the link to the thing. So yeah, that's
Oh God, this poor artist is stuffing Zoe Quinn.
That's probably what happened.
Man, you could double bag that shit, your dick will still fall off.
Well, let's see if we can find out who the crap artist is. Quinn was part of the creative team behind Vertigo and DC Comics Goddess Mode. Now, creative team is very loose.
Extremely generous.
Very, yeah. Extremely loose. God, we're her book was part of a line-wide relaunch and rebranding effort for Vertigo Comics and failed miserably. Instead, DC would shut the entire publishing imprint down.
Oh boy.
DC was like, oh shit, it's worse than we thought.
Shut it down! Shut it down!
Not only was Quinn's book part of the line-wide relaunch, but she and a number of Vertigo Comics creators who were part of the relaunch and rebrand quickly made themselves controversial political figures. Just then made themselves controversial? I mean... Zoe Quinn calls Republicans evil, violates DC Comics social media guidelines. Like, they really give a shit. I mean, at this point, do they even care that they have social media guidelines? Not only did Quinn and her fellow creators at Vertigo Comics bring controversy to the imprint, but the book simply didn't sell at all. Quinn's Goddess Mode shipped 17,471 copies in the first issue. The second issue would only ship 8,116. And that wouldn't get any prettier.
Look at honesty here.
Yeah.
I'm going to go quickly find out how much those things cost.
Yeah, go check it out.
See.
Zoe Quinn and the Addams Family.
$4.
That's the value.
So 17,000?
Yeah.
That's like what? That's like
No. Remember, shipped.
Right, but the comic stores still had to collectively pay for those.
Yeah, but so you're looking at Mike. You're looking at about half that price when it comes to shipped. And
so roughly 34,000 for the first.
Yeah, roughly about 34,000. And she didn't get she probably didn't get that decent of a rate.
No. Shipped is what they sold to the stores. Half of that is what the stores actually sold.
No. Now I'm saying that half the price is what they paid is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Roughly $2 for shipped.
Yeah.
So
because once it gets to the store, there's no way to track it anymore unless the store tracks it. You know what I'm saying?
I'm sorry. I was about to get upset. You were fucking up math. I'm like, wait a goddamn minute here.
No,
it was my fault.
Yeah. You stepping on my toes. See how it is? You need to.
I'm sorry. I've been drinking. I get a little drink in me.
You just took 5 sips. You just started.
There's a third episode. There's a third book for Goddess Mode?
I get the mix great.
Really?
I don't know.
Apparently they get to 5 issues.
I heard 4.
This may require some investigation, but
Goddess Mode number 6. What?
No one cared. Even we stopped reading them.
They're not even selling them.
I only read the first issue through Means.
We did review. We went through about 2 issues.
So there's six issues of this goddamn comic, and with diminishing returns. So, so you said 17,000 for the first one, and then 3,000 for the next. That's a really horrid retention rate. Holy shit.
Mm-hmm.
So assume that retention rate even went worse. So let me do some math. You keep going.
I don't know.
17% retention rate. So the third book would have only sold 510 copies.
Sounds about right.
And then the fourth book would only sell around 90. And then the fifth book would only sell about 14 copies. That's assuming that the retention rate is 17%. Mm-hmm. So that's the population of the next book. The people that care enough to buy the next one is about 70% of the previous people that bought.
Play nuclear.mp3.
Standing
Quinn
on the edge.
Quinn won't just be joining Marvel. IDW Publishing announced Quinn will be write the story for their upcoming The Addams Family, The Bodies issue one-shot. She will be joined by artist Philip Murphy. Quinn discussed it why she was interested in writing The Addams Family. As a goth, I fell in love with The Addams Family at a young age. It's a dream come true to write for the iconic, loving family of oddballs. She read Wikipedia. As a comics creator, .jpg, I've really enjoyed being able to play with the visual gags and write most of the most fun dialogue I've ever created. Too. I don't know how you got that made a sense as a sentence, but all right.
The what? that plot line is dumb. Holy shit.
The one shot is expected to see Wednesday Addams discover a mysterious tome that promises empowerment to the young woman who wields it. She decides to perform the ritual required in the 11-teen magazine in order to obtain the ultimate power. Do you plan?
11-teen magazine.
Yep.
She would know right away and not do it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If we get to 500 subs, we'll read this comic.
Yeah. We will torture ourselves so you don't have to.
Because I'm willing to bet that she has no idea how the visual gags of the Addams Family work. Because when we first talked about that, we went into great detail on how those work and why those are funny.
Mm-hmm. Because most of the visual gags were not visual gags; they were done off screen.
Yeah, it's a setup, and then it goes off screen, and you just hear the noise of it happening.
Most of the time, like you said, it was like Pugsley Wednesday. They run through the house. They have a shovel and some TNT for some reason. What are you kids doing? Oh, we're gonna go, blow up the thing or whatever. And it's like, okay. Then you go for 15 minutes, have no idea what's going on. Next thing you hear, ba-boom.
Yeah, the house shakes all of a sudden.
Yeah, and then Wednesday and Pugsley come in. They got a little smoke on their faces because they just blew up a tree or something.
Yeah.
And it probably
the neighbor's cat.
Yeah, and it more than likely backfired because.
Yeah.
I think because
Wednesday Addams was like the antithesis of society. Holy shit, she does not understand this fucking character.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She is literally everything a little girl should not be.
Mm-hmm.
Dour, terrifying.
But she wasn't.
Lydia.
Here's the thing: she was all that, but she wasn't evil.
Lydia from
she was
Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
Okay, Lydia from Beetlejuice, I could see doing this being good for this comic idea of hers.
Mm-hmm.
Because
she was very. Yeah.
She wants to be normal, but she's depressed as all fuck.
Mm-hmm. But Wednesday is perfectly happy in her skin.
Yeah.
And like I said, she's not evil, so why would she want ultimate power?
I mean, she'll sacrifice her brother for fucking power, and it never works. But
well, that's just their dichotomy.
They're just playing.
Yeah, they're just like I said, they're just playing around. She doesn't want to actually kill Pugsley. She's just going to use him to get what she wants. It's
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just like an extremely macabre version of horsing around with your younger sibling. Beating on him, wrestling.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now, who was the older and younger sibling?
It's never made clear. But that's okay because it works out. Because sometimes
I always assumed that Wednesday was the younger.
Because she was old.
Yeah.
I thought she was older.
Now I thought Wednesday was younger, and Pugsley was the older brother. But
Honestly,
like I said,
it never mattered.
Yeah, like I said, it didn't matter because it didn't matter to the dynamic.
Yeah, because they're effectively immortal ghouls stuck in that one sort of the nuclear family. Mm-hmm. So
and the joke was that mundane people come over, see them do these outrageous things that they treat as mundane, and try to get them to do mundane things with them.
Wednesday is Undead Quinn said in the chat. Wednesday is a calm nihilist. I think that's a good descriptor.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
But it's like we're the other moms in the neighborhood are talking about doing a neighborhood bake sale.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that would be lovely.
Mm-hmm.
Bake sale sounds great. Fester, fire boy, fire at me. Fester fires off screen. Ah, you rascal, you got me.
I want to watch some old Addams Family now, because
honestly, the old serial was great.
Mm-hmm.
I never personally read the original comic that this whole thing was based off of.
Mm-hmm. The
the
cartoon
was great.
The cartoon was pretty good too.
The cartoon was good.
Mm-hmm.
The 90s cartoon was good. I think the issue with the movies, because that's Tim Burton, is he did a lot of the off-screen stuff on screen.
Yeah.
And
like you said, that was part of the charm, was like the off-screen stuff. Like you just walked in on them in the middle of the off-screen stuff. You know,
Yeah, it's like I said,
in the TV
Gomez
show.
is dead, chained up, and he's being hung up by his feet over a tank of sharks.
Mm-hmm.
And Fester's got a crossbow, and he's blindfolded. Hey, what are you doing? Oh, they're just having fun.
Yeah, just playing around. And also remember the thing with Fester in the TV show, they never specified whose uncle he was, and they never specified that he was related to any of them.
I thought they said he was Gomez's brother.
That was it was in the movie.
Yeah, it's never quite clarified as to who
In the
his
old
uncle is.
in the old TV show, they just said if they call me Uncle Fester, well, whose uncle are you?
And he could be like a ghoul, considering that he has the power to have the electricity coming from his mouth.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So he could be like an ancient Uncle Fester.
Yeah.
So there's Cousin It.
Cousin It.
He was just a weird.
He was a fucking weirdo.
Yeah, he was the weirdo. Out of everybody, Cousin It was the weirdo of the family.
Well, because he was the one that was able to go out and do normal shit, and
Yeah.
people just didn't notice the fact that he was made out of hair.
Yep. And had a and in the movie had a hot wife.
I love in the 90s cartoon, he was also a secret agent, 00 It.
Yep.
Oh God! I remember one episode from that cartoon where they accidentally cut off all his hair, and they thought they killed him.
Mm-hmm.
But no, he just came back in from a trip because he fell out the window.
What is this? The new Addams Family is pop culture based with all the rap songs they use. Wait, what?
Oh yeah, I remember in the. Holy crap! Yeah, he's right. I remember the goddamn soundtrack. It was just full of rap songs.
Ah, okay.
For the first movie, at least. I don't remember if it was the second one.
Yeah, the first one because they had Hammer, didn't they? He did he did one of the songs. Yeah, I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's funny because it wasn't on the soundtrack for the movie; it was on his album. Fester could have just been a family friend that they called uncle. I mean, there you go. I think the biggest joke that the Addams Family ever pulled on us was Fester's Quest. In all honesty.
Oh God. That thing was so off. Like, I'm getting fucking flashbacks, and they don't make any sense.
Yeah, that's a good point. Quinn just said in the chat. Fester is the strange uncle that everyone has.
Yeah, the one that your mom invites just to be nice, but tells you not to spend a lot of time around.
Yeah. And you find out, well, he's kind of a weirdo, but he's all right. Like.
Don't get in his car.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get in his car.
I mean, I remember like from the old show, like because TBS used to show those things all the time, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And because he, like whenever like something crazy would happen, so like you said, the normal neighbors or normal something would come over and. They said he would pop in. He said, "They call me Uncle Fester," and he said, and they said, "I'm sure they do."
Okay, yeah. Oh my God, I'm looking up screenshots from the old Fester's Quest. Oh God, why did we rent that?
Are you saying that you were touched by an Uncle Fester as a child? Badly?
Badly.
So let's look at the chat. I mean, not the chat. Let's look at the comment section of that article. So, first one. How do all these talent black holes keep getting hired? That's a good one. This is good. Pardon me. I'll be back in 16 hours with my real comment. It's hard to compose one right now due to my uncontrollable laughter and all. Super interested in learning how Hellcat's origins are rooted in misogyny and abuse at the hands of men. No need to buy it. We all know the story. White man bad. Mike, Mike, if we haven't been clear, that we do apologize, Xavier and I, for being white.
I'm apology accepted.
Thank you. Now say woke wasabi.
Woke wasabi.
Proof Marvel isn't correcting course anytime soon. Sad but true. Who is she screwing now? And the answer was Marvel shareholders. Oh, man. That was good. Yeah, I liked it. Yeah, this person says, as a goth who fell in love with the Addams family at a young age, every time you hire an SJW, they all start with, "I'm such a big fan. I've wanted to work on this since I was 3 years old." And it said she probably only watched the movies once at best. And like I said earlier, as your boy Zach would say, when SJWs say they love something, they really mean they've heard of it. Yep. I wonder if they had any appreciation for how many customers they just lost. I mean, they ain't got that many to start with, but okay. Did she have lewd relationship with someone or some of Marvel's top to get hired by them? You know, Gamergate, and then the next response was round 2, fight.
Oh God.
And then there's, oh boy, here we go. I don't know. I think I would have done the CJ on that one. Ah, shit. Here we go again. 5 years into Marvel's push to drive away the current customer base and replace them with an SJW customer base, they've become extremely proficient at step 1, and it made exactly 0 progress on step 2. We're getting an SJW thought to write for a male-created female superhero. And as a wise man on YouTube once said, once again, when an SJW says they love a character, it means they only heard of it. Wednesday doesn't seem to be the type of character to use / embody feminist beliefs. What do y'all think? Y'all think that's right with Wednesday?
She doesn't care. It doesn't fucking matter. Fucking gender relations wouldn't fucking matter to her. Everyone's gonna fucking die anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything's going to return to dust. Everything's going to return to nothing. Mm-hmm.
Also, if you remember when she went to summer camp, she let that poor girl drown during a trust exercise because she doesn't know how to swim. but she forgets to mention that until those bubbles start coming up.
Yep. So yeah, that's that. So let's find out about Hellcat, since obviously Zoe knows nothing about her. So Hellcat, Patsy Walker, is a fictional superhero appearing in American comic books published by Marvel Comics. She is the name of the character is so old that she is from the old timely comics.
Shit.
Created by Stuart Little and Ruth Atkinson, Patsy Walker first appeared in Miss America Magazine #2, November 1944, and became Hellcat in the Avengers 144 in February of 1976. So it took over 30 years for her to become a hero.
Trying to.
Oh no, she had a boyfriend.
Yeah.
Oh no.
We can't have that. Can't have that.
She's not allowed to have boyfriends. She needs to have several orbiters and one guy that she calls back. She keeps in a fucking glass case that helps pay for her apartment.
Yeah. Well, she struggles to figure out if she's a lesbian or not. But these like 4 or 5 scenes in a diner will give you no further enlightenment on this subject.
Yeah, I'm just looking at all the. Okay, Hawkeye, great. So I'm under the impression that Zoe actually has no idea how Hellcat works. Let's read her fictional biography.
See, I'm having trouble trying to figure out how Hellcat works. I'm reading the fucking bio.
Yeah. After growing up in suburban Centerville, graduating high school and marrying high school sweetheart Robert Buzz Baxter, Patsy Walker becomes an assistant scientist to scientist Hank McCoy, the mutant hero, the Beast. Yeah, we know who he is. Who at the time was on hiatus from the X-Men. Estranged from her husband, now a U.S. Air Force colonel, Walker befriends McCoy. Wait a minute. They just kind of skipped over the whole she joined the Air Force part, didn't they?
Yeah.
And desiring to become a superhero, accompanied McCoy on the quest with the Avengers. She adopts the an ability-enhancing costume and formerly belonged to Greer Grant Nelson, the former masked adventurer, the Cat, and takes on the name Hellcat. After using her natural athletic abilities and good instincts to rescue the Avengers, Walker is offered membership into the team. The cosmic adventurer Moondragon persuades Hellcat to decline and instead accompanying her to Saturn's moon Titan for training in psychic ability and advanced martial arts. Walker's training soon is interrupted when she returns to Earth to assist the supernatural hero Doctor Strange, joining the Defenders in the process. Later, Moondragon revokes her mind powers, mentioning Walker's ineffective use of them. Moondragon's kind of a bitch.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Shut the fucking vegan, please.
Yeah,
You're not
right.
allowed to have psychic powers.
Yeah, get the fuck out of here.
Fucking drinking milk.
Patsy could have been a fucking like a Omega level mind reader, but no, Moondragon had to turn her off. You know?
Also, I love that psychic powers is something you can just learn now.
Yeah. She meets her future husband, Damien Hellstrom, the son of Satan. Okay.
Writer going through a little something there on the outside, you know, some subtext here.
I mean,
let's see. Damon Hellstrom, also known as the son of Satan in Hellstorm.
Wow. How...
During the course of the quest with the Defenders, after learning that her mother had promised her soul to Satan. Whoa! Mom!
So shouldn't Ghost Rider have been coming after her?
Right?
Blackheart?
And briefly being lied to by the devil that he was her father. Walker reunites with her real father and marries Hellstrom. The two then retire from being superheroes. Ultimately, Hellstrom's demonic inheritance took possession of him and drove Walker insane. Institutionalized, she was driven to suicide by the otherworldly being Death Urge. I don't care what anybody says. That's an awesome villain name. Death Urge.
They just call that, manic depression. With suicidal tendencies.
Mod, if you want to know what's going on, we're reading the fictional biography of the character that Zoe Quinn supposedly knows everything about.
So this guy's actually kind of interesting. So Marvel Spotlight on the Son of Satan. That's the fucking title of the book, The Son of Satan.
I'm surprised that got through any kind of.
Hellcat's developed and collected a bunch of abilities. You can see. She was in possession of a magic cloak that opens dimensional portals. Develops a demon sight perception that allows her to sense mystical energy. Dons a magic field that can deflect mystical attacks, and becomes technologically stimulated into having enhanced psionic abilities. And that was when she went to Titan.
Huh. There was apparently a comic done of The Last of the Mohicans.
Oh.
By Marvel.
How does it make you feel?
Like The Last of the Mohicans.
Okay, she was trapped in hell. Okay, trapped in hell, Walker's spirit is used in a series of gladiatorial-like combat scenarios. There she learned to develop and use her psychic powers. Hellstrom tricks the archer superhero Hawkeye into returning her spirit to Earth. Hawkeye believes he is retrieving his presumed dead wife, Mockingbird, from the demonic lord Mephisto's realm. Resurrected and back on Earth, Walker retains the powers she developed in Hell and is also able to manifest her costume at will. Once again, a member of the Defenders, Hellcat focuses on combating occult evils, notably Nicholas Scratch, who had based himself in her hometown of Centerville, and the other dimensional ruler Dormammu. Did she come to bargain?
She could have.
Because we all know it doesn't matter unless you come to bargain. Yeah. During the Civil War storyline, oh god, Hellcat Hellcat registers. She serves as one of the young superheroes instructors at Camp Hammond. She was then assigned to the Avengers 50 State Initiative official superhero for Alaska. Wow. It's kind of like, yeah, we're just going to put you up here. No, nothing really happens up there. Yeah. But eventually returned to New York City. Hellcat developed and maintained a deep friendship with superheroes Firestar, Black Cat, and Monica Rambeau, partly stemming from their support to Firestar, who develops and then survives breast cancer.
Apparently, she also used to have comics that were based on her early childhood, and her ex-husband apparently got the rights for those comics from her mother when she was incapacitated in the hospital, and so she had She-Hulk help her sue to get those back.
I think I'm getting to that. Hellcat is later seen with She-Hulk and facing personal problems. After a night of heavy drinking and partying, Hellcat and She-Hulk invade a warehouse that AIM was using as a hideout to defeat two agents wearing high-tech suits. She-Hulk then hires Hellcat as her private investigator to help her economical situation. She then helps She-Hulk in protecting Christoph Bernard, the son of Dr. Doom, who is trying to defect to the U.S. She is later seen talking with Tigra about a case involving a lawsuit, but ends up fighting her when she mentions the plaintiff's name, George Sawitz. After recovering in the hospital, she helps She-Hulk and Hank Pym in recovery mission to save Reza, the partner of inventor Rufus Randall, to settle. There's just these names they're throwing out there to settle an argument between them over a device known as the Shrinko, which they were planning to sell to Pym. They later wind up helping Steve Rogers, the original Captain America, with a lawsuit involving a murder that happened in 1940. Now I wonder if she was she in the hospital because Hank Pym beat her? You think that would happen? Give her a little backhand, give her the backhand action, like.
I just keep finding all these ridiculous fucking comic book covers.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm looking at her stats on like Marvel's official database for her. Durability 3, energy 1, fighting skills 5, intelligence 3. Speed 2.
She's not very high up on the echelon there, is she? Like
strength 4. I think she's just like a female Batman.
That's what it sounds like. Of course, Batman would have higher intelligence. Let's be honest.
Yeah. It's like, and I don't mean like Batgirl. I mean she seems stronger than Batgirl.
Yeah. Let's see. As part of the all-new, all-different Marvel line, She-Hulk eventually gets unable to afford Hellcat as an investigator and fires her friend, which also forces Walker to move out of Walter's office building, the same place where Howard the Duck works, of course. Walker moves to Brooklyn, an apartment of Ian, an Inhuman she met when he used his powers to steal from an armored truck. Ian gets a job with Walker's old friend Tom Hale, known as Tubbs in the romance comics, and inspires her to open a work agency for other superpowered people. To her chagrin, Walker also learns that her old rival Hetty Wolf has obtained the rights to from Walker's late mother Dorothy to republish the Patsy Walker comics. That's what you're talking about. Yeah, Hetty Wolf is her old friend or old rival, not her husband.
Yeah.
I
misread it.
Okay. With the help of She-Hulk and Jessica Jones, Walker gets the rights back by proving that Dorothy was sedated and thus not in full mental capacities when she signed the comics off to Hetty, making it a void contract. Guys, you know what is really awesome when you're reading comic books? Lawsuits.
Law procedurals.
Yeah, law procedurals. That's very interesting. I really love it when.
Like, I know She-Hulk was a lawyer, but how much of her comics actually went through like the full lawsuit?
You know, it usually didn't, because there was always something that came up that would stop the case.
Right.
You know.
Also, She-Hulk is such a great character that I think she could pull off making a law procedural fun and entertaining.
Yeah.
Not every character could do this. Matt Murdock, the official lawyer of Marvel comic characters, can't do it.
Nope. During the Civil War II storyline, I mean, it's funny how she gets involved in both terrible civil wars. Patsy Walker learns that She-Hulk is in a coma at the Triskelion. Miss America allows Patsy to visit her. After the visit, Patsy tells Howard the Duck and the other tenants about She-Hulk's current condition and moves her offices to where Jennifer operated as a lawyer. Afterwards, Hetty dupes Patsy's ex-husband Mad Dog and Damien Hellstrom into fighting her. Damien sends Patsy to a dimension ruled by the demon Belial. Oh shit!
Wolf.
Who tries to bring Hellcat
around now?
Yeah, who tries to bring Hellcat to his side? Yeah, I fought Belial in Diablo 3. It was pretty rough. I had to say it. Come on.
Someone else would have.
Yeah,
and I would have went, "Hey."
Yeah. Patsy then confronts her former friend Black Cat, now leading a gang of criminals. Oh man,
gang of animals.
Criminals.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say because it's a lot less interesting now.
Patsy suddenly catches a cold that causes her to alter reality when she sneezes.
Fuck! I swear I had that one time. And I think I just had mono.
Oh. After several disasters, Patsy accidentally makes a building disappear. Hetty then calls Patsy and reveals that she is dating the demon Belial.
Why is she... Okay, so why is she so connected to hell? Holy shit.
It's like the whole hell part. It's like she called herself Hellcat, so we got to tie this together somehow. You know,
Yeah.
It couldn't just be from the fact that she's like
scrappy,
tough as hell.
Yeah, like scrappy. Yeah, like a Hellcat. No. Can't have that. No. Yeah, gotta
She
actually.
She can't be angry. She can't be hellbent on revenge. She can't be fucking Wolverine if Wolverine had no powers.
Yeah.
All these much better justifications for that name, but no, we gotta bring hell into this. Also, she's gotta be extremely petty about certain shit. What's this? It's from Patty. It says, "Look who I'm dating now," and it's her blowing. Is that fucking Mephisto?
No, it's Belial. Get it right, God.
How do you know what Belial's dick looks like?
Like I said, I fought him in Diablo 3. It was a very strange time, okay?
He was just swinging it all around there.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah. He was mad because, Diablo was the true primeval, and the only way he thought people could respect him is he just whipped his dong out every time you're confronting him. Yes, ask what's his name? Ask Tyrael about that. He's like, yeah, every time you see Belial at a party, he just like starts whipping his dick out. He's like, yeah, I'm better than Diablo.
I saw him go up to this girl, and he said it's not gonna suck itself. She looked at him and says, and? Eventually he went away, dejected.
Belial's constantly getting disrespected. Okay, so yeah, she's dating Belial, who helps Patsy overcome her grief over She-Hulk and cures her of the cold. Patsy then receives a check for a big amount of money from She-Hulk and takes Ian, Tom, and Jubilee to the mall. Where did Jubilee come from? What the fuck?
They needed to do something with Jubilee, but not like this. Anything but this.
Jubilee has a purpose. She is Wolverine's sidekick.
Mm-hmm. Who she took over that spot from Kitty Pryde, who was his former sidekick.
Right.
But Jubilee got the honor of being his sidekick in his own comic.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, and wasn't she also like Dark Claw's Robin figure?
Yeah.
In the amalgam.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in the Wolverine comics. You found that Jubilee's a lot more powerful than they made her look like in the X-Men comics.
Well, I mean, she's pyrokinetic, right?
Yeah.
And she's just like a little teenage girl. She's just trying to figure out her own fucking powers, and it's just like, oh, he has lights and sound. She uses light and sound, and then she figures. I would say that she's just not imaginative with it.
Yeah.
Well, that was the thing she discovered during the Wolverine comics, is that she could do a lot more than just fire fireworks.
Well, the goal is you need to figure out what principles are at play for your power.
Mm-hmm.
That's when you start experimenting with, well, we know this equals this, but so if I do it like this, maybe this will happen.
Yeah, I mean, even Wolverine suggested, because like she confronted the gangster that killed her actual parents. Because it's always a gangster that kills your parents. It's never. You know what I mean? It has to be a gangster. I think it was Yakuza too, and she kicked the shit out of him. Like, even without using her power, she beat the shit out of him. When you train Wolverine, you're going to learn something.
Well, you can't go on a revenge quest against an accident,
right? And at the end, it's like Wolverine was like giving her advice on how to kill them. She said, "Yeah, you could take one of your bamfs. That's what pamps. What they called her powers. And like and set it off inside of his spine."
Brutal.
Yeah. It would be very painful.
For you.
But you're a big guy.
For you. While shopping, they encounter two teenage girls pretending to be supervillains, who are revealed to be Patsy's biggest fans. Ian then figures out that the girls like each other and resolve their dispute. After that, Patsy expresses joy and how her life has changed. And now you're going to be written by Zoe Quinn.
Your life is going to suck, and you're going to be super depressed, and you're going to be sexually confused, and I don't know.
See, powers and abilities, just real quick. Hellcat is possession of a magic cloak that enables her to sense mystical phenomena or deflect mystical attacks. She's able to summon her costume at will. She also possesses retractable claws and grappling hooks on her wrist. Patsy is also a well-trained martial artist and gymnast, having trained with the Avengers and Moondragon. Even though Moondragon was kind of a dick.
Who the fuck is Moondragon?
She used to be a character in the Infinity Watch. She was the bald chick that had the mind gem.
Yeah, yeah. She emanates bitch energy.
Yeah, she was always like a kind of between that line. Like, she could go evil or she could be good, kind of thing.
Her first appearance in Iron Man number 54 is as Madam McEvil.
Yeah.
For real?
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome, actually.
It's fucking great.
She didn't officially appear as Moondragon until Daredevil 105.
Comics is amazing.
Yeah.
Notable aliases: Madam McEvil, H.D. Steckley.
What?
What?
Because her full name is Heather Douglas. H.D. Steckley.
Oh, man. But yeah, I was trying to think the Infinity Watch at the time. So, Adam Warlock, Drax, Pip. Yeah, I was going to say Puck, but it was Pip. Pip the Troll, Gamora, Moondragon. I think that's it. Yeah, I think that was it. Because that was before like Drax got cool tattoos and shit.
Yeah.
When he looked more like the Hulk.
It was it's kind of just an asshole before then.
Yeah.
Who just somehow always knew where Thanos was, wherever he was in the universe.
Oh yeah, and there was that time when Drax was retarded. I don't know if you remember that or not, but in fact, it was when he was in the Infinity Watch. He was just a retard. Basically, he was kind of like point Drax in direction and let him punch things.
So he was a very direct hero.
Hold on. Jubilee's a vampire now?
She was. I think they've got rid of that now.
I was going to say, because that's fucking awesome.
That's impressive that, typically most people don't get better from vampirism. That's Blade.
Oh my gosh. Because this happened on Twitter. Did they bring in Zoe Quinn? Did they bring Zoe Quinn into Marvel as payback for Thor Odinson, who's a Twitter user, not the Marvel character? Thor Odinson's tweeting over 4+ examples of bad art to CB Cebulski.
Can we grab those tweets?
I mean, it's not really necessary, but essentially he was like showing like here's some art from your comic books, and here's some art from like say Kyle Ritter, who's doing his first comic ever.
Mm-hmm. You take that back.
Speaking of Kyle Ritter, everyone's favorite blue-haired orca tried to go in on him, where she was saying that he had very poor dialogue in his comic. There's one little problem with that. Kyle's deaf.
Yeah.
And if you know anything about American Sign Language, they don't sentence like we do.
No.
So yes, it'll probably things that'll change when he gets an editor. When they edit it for him. But that would explain why sometimes the dialogue doesn't flow like it should. So yeah, that was kind of a pissy thing for her to do. And then of course she did that thing. It's too bad Piper isn't here, but she would say that she did that thing. It's like, oh, you're just bringing up that he's deaf just so you can use him. This and that. That's like you do all the time.
All the fucking time.
Yep.
Remember all those trans people that wrote your book for you that you bullied so they'd do it for free?
Well, that was Zoe Quinn, but yeah, I was talking about the blue-haired orca.
I thought it was Zoe Quinn.
Well,
we're getting too many fucking.
There's too many blue hairs. There's too many enemies.
I just wish that I get fucking mad every fucking time. Why can't we have normal people to fight? Why can't we just have somebody who's like misguided that could learn that they're awful? But no, it's always someone that entrenches themselves and they have fucking like some random ass color on their head, and if they're male, they'll have like fucking a beard with like fucking wax and like 3-inch thick fucking frames. It's always
I want somebody that can accept that they fucking lost this one, but this isn't over. Will get into their fucking jet craft to say, next time, comics fools! Next time! And fly away laughing.
While their cat is hissing at the same time?
Yeah. Because, honestly, the blue-haired whale orca kind of reminds me, she's just a dollar store Zoe Quinn.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
She's less effective because we've been fighting these people for so long. She's really out of her element. Everybody knows how to deal with her kind, her ilk, and she will never get away with the kind of shit that Zoe got away with.
Mm-hmm.
Even Zoe isn't getting away with the kind of shit Zoe used to get away with.
Yeah, because you get there's only so much goodwill you can muster when you're fucking with people's money. You're
fucking with their money, you're fucking with their emotions.
Yep.
And these people pride themselves on emotional manipulation.
Yep.
It's gonna come home to roost.
Yep. Because I'm surprised she hasn't gotten a honestly even bigger call out for that Kickstarter. I mean, she's gotten some call out. I'm not saying she hasn't, but yeah, I'll get you a CG next time.
Sally, that was your big moment. I had to fill in for you.
Like
she's laying on the floor.
It's kind of like this. It's, during Gamergate, and this is something I brought up in to other people in chats. It's like I've heard so many times, oh, this is the end of Comicsgate. This I was like, how many times like Gamergate was dead in that first year?
Every weekend practically.
Yeah. I mean, what was it the IRC log leak? That was supposed to be the end, right?
Mm-hmm. And nobody cared.
Dead. There was the Brianna Wu started her press tour and got the mainstream news to start talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
Which it was CNN that did the story where it had the fucking zooming through 3D panes of memes.
Yep.
And it stopped on "We came here to laugh at you."
and that was about the time they started they were trying to associate shit talking in fighting game tournaments with Gamergate, even though that shit's been going on since the 90s.
Yeah, John Romero invented that shit.
Yeah. I mean, I played some in fighting game tournaments, and all you do is talk shit.
I remember the first public tournament that John Romero showed up at. Everyone was quiet. Mm-hmm. All of a sudden, John kills somebody. He's like, "Eat that, you monkey fuck!" John Romero loses. He smashes the fucking keyboard, and everybody's freaking out. Have another keyboard, please.
And GG keeps getting brought back from the dead every other week. This is true too.
And they always, oh my god, always. Like you mentioned, they always mention that he's fucking dead. Like how many fucking times does like a fucking Saturday morning cartoon villain always say, "Well, they're dead now." Mm-hmm. Oh my god!
Why can't we have good villains like Bison from Street Fighter? We were assuming we were under the great assumption that Gamergate / Comicsgate / I Stand with Vic is dead. Great news, General. Congratulations. On the contrary, I mourn. Okay. Well, I think even Bison realized how effective is his tyranny if he has nobody to fight.
Yeah.
You know?
To prove that he is the best.
Exactly.
Mumra.
It's like Cab has said on this show before many, many times. These people are crazy because it's not just like disagreements. Before, I can remember this. Even back in the 80s, when, Reagan was going to get us all killed in a nuclear fire. Liberals and, conservatives and all, they had disagreements, but they could still shake hands and go get a drink afterwards. Mm-hmm. These people, they want people like me and Mike and Xavier, Piper, Cab, all you listening in the chat, they want us dead or under heel. One or the other.
I think they'd prefer us dead because we'll be quieter that way.
Yeah, but
we've already made it perfectly clear that if we're not going to be under heel, and if we are, we're not going to be quiet about it.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. They want us out of the way, and there's only one way to get us out of the way. Because we're not going quiet.
What's really funny is that there's such a tiny percentage of the overall population, mm-hmm. and yet they think everyone is on their side.
Dude, I have said this, and I don't know, Mike, I don't think you were here, but I've said this one time on this show. I think the reason why they think that they got the advantage and that they are the majority is because they go on sites like Vox and Atlanta Journal-Constitution and The Guardian and HuffPo, Twitter, Facebook, et cetera, where they're banning the counter argument. Mm-hmm. And so they've actually gotten in their heads that they are the majority because that's all they fucking hear.
It's their own arguments thrown back at them constantly.
Yeah. I mean, if all they're hearing is the same thing they're saying, they think they're winning.
Yeah, that's fuck. It's
a good point, right?
Explains a lot. Yeah, fuck. That explains more than I.
Why do you think 2016 was such a blow to them?
Because it got to the spread to the mainstream media. Everyone's like, okay, this is terrible. Who cares?
Yeah.
And it was the first time that they were brought out of their fucking mm-hmm. comfort zone because mm-hmm. they've never been challenged before.
There, Yellow Lantern just says, during the George W. Bush administration, I found out I was one of 3 conservative-leaning goths. And let me tell you, when it came out that I was conservative, the dirty looks I got. You get more dirty looks being a conservative than you do being a goth. That's a fact. And I'm not, I don't care. I've known plenty of people who are liberal. I got friends who are liberal, right? Mm-hmm. They don't treat me like garbage. I don't treat them like garbage. We have disagreements about policy. That should be the end of it.
Yeah. End all be all.
It's like, well, I don't think you know, I don't think we should do that. Well, I don't think we should do that. Hey, you want to play some Street Fighter? All right.
Yeah, I'm kind of a little left-leaning centrist. I've got like a friend on Facebook. She went so far left, she's actually advocating for violence against me because centrists are just cowards and who are too afraid to admit they're right-wing Nazis.
Look at those neutrals over there with their neutrality.
Of course, you know when they stand during times of war, but during times of peace, are they plotting?
Just like a neutral. During the George W. Bush years when I started, it went from joking on the press, as was done during Reagan Clinton, to personal attacks on the president. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, it used to be like, because, you know, the president is a public figure. You can say whatever the fuck you want about the president. It doesn't matter who the president was, right? Just jokes, right? They went from that to personal attacks to attacking the person's, you know, like the guy's family, you know, the kids. It used to be an unwritten rule. You don't mess with the kids, right?
Now here they are, fucking with kids.
Yep.
Well, also fucking. Oh, god damn it! Reminded myself.
Daddy, on the edge of the crater.
As a Swiss citizen, I am neutral on your offensive jokes about being neutral.
You neutral son of a bitch! What are you plotting?
Can we blame Canada for the very far left? No, because Canada only recently went left itself.
It's a lot more complicated than that, but essentially, yes, it has become the Tumblr version of the left.
Yeah, that's you know, we have a Canadian citizen right here who will say that it was a slow process. I mean, they were, you know, it was an inside out thing. I mean, honestly, I'm going to be honest with you guys. The best thing Canada ever did was letting Justin Trudeau be prime minister because it showed how inept and stupid socialism, a socialist policy maker like him can be. I mean, it sucks for people like Mike who live there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, going after who vote for them is even worse. Yeah, see, that's another thing. Like, you voted for a guy. All right. I knew people who voted for Obama. All right. Well, they voted for Obama. Big deal. You know,
it's not like he was like the Antichrist or anything, unless he was. But you know, point is,
yeah. I had. Did I ever tell you about the lady at the gas station who told me that Trump was the Antichrist?
No.
Yeah, I was just getting gas, and like something happened, and like she couldn't get her like gas tank open or something. So I went over there and helped her out. You know, I was like, I got you. She's like, thank you. And then she said something about something. She said, but you know, it's not like it means anything because you know now we got the Antichrist as the president. And so I had to be me. I said, you know, I was born in 1979. I'm telling this woman this story. I was born in 1979. So I've lived through, you know, Reagan, Bush, Clinton, Bush, Obama, and now Trump, right? Did you know that every one of those men at some point was called the Antichrist by somebody?
Or a Nazi.
Or a Nazi, yeah. Well, so yeah, I mean, let's put it this way: if America keeps producing is the one that is supposed to produce the Antichrist, we're doing a really bad job of doing it. Because I think that whole 8-year term limit thing just kind of throws the whole plan into.
But I present you George W. Bush, the Antichrist. Wait a minute, he just made a speech about how much he loves the baby Jesus. Damn it! Back to the drawing board.
Is the Antichrist beta? Yeah.
Essentially compared to Jesus, yes, actually, fuck.
American Dad's version of the Antichrist is still my favorite. He's a fucking old school Batman villain.
I'll get you next time, Antichrist. No, did he say I'll get you next time, Son of God, or something like that?
Yeah. Damn it, let us out of here, Auntie! fills it with sand. Whole thing comes apart. Ha! We're totally inverted. You're a great carpenter. I'm not handy at all.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. let me touch on something Jameson said to Mata. Mata asked, he don't know what socialism is. He says socialism is where the government gets to decide who gets what. No, socialism is a system where everybody is equal, but some people are more equal than others.
Mm-hmm.
Socialism is a system that has never been fully put in place because the mere attempt at it always ends in violent dictatorship and ethnic cleansing.
Mm-hmm.
They're right. True socialism has never been tried because attempted socialism gets too many people killed. Mm-hmm. Also makes it real easy for these people to grab power. Because all the the socialist revolutionaries are the first to be executed.
This sounds impossible to implement. It is. It literally is impossible to implement because there has to be the thing with socialism is the true socialism requires there to be a central something. It has to be a central something to decide what is equal, right?
Mm-hmm.
The problem is most of the people who have the wherewithal to get that power are assholes.
Usually, extremely big, gigantic assholes. Holy shit!
And if you let a machine do it, it decides that everyone is equally worthless, and now you're all off to be grinded up into a nutritional paste.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's just you can't. They always think that they are going to be the ones in control. See, that's another thing. They always use what do they call it, Mike? End stage capitalism.
Late stage capitalist.
Yeah,
I always say it's late stage capitalism, Mike.
Yeah.
Being able to grow to healthy age is late stage capitalism. Not getting rickets when you're fucking 10 is late stage capitalism.
Well, let me point out something about capitalism, and they're going to hate to hear this. Capitalism is not a political system. Capitalism is a market system.
Mm-hmm.
Capitalism is literally the exchange of goods and services for others' goods and services, usually backed up by some kind of currency.
Capitalism
Mm-hmm.
Capitalism is the rose bush in front of your grandma's house,
Mm-hmm.
You gotta take care of it, you gotta trim it every now and again, but for the most part, just let it do its thing.
Yeah. As long as you don't let it wild out too much, you keep the rose bush in the certain parameters, making sure the thorns don't grow too long, kind of thing.
Yeah, trim here, trim there, and
because you certainly don't want to have the ability to purchase fucking 6-year-old children and micro fucking thumb nukes so that way people can violate your NAP for farting in general. No, you don't want that shit.
Normal people do not mind, certain laws to limit certain aspects of capitalism, right?
Right.
Because, like you said, we don't want to be like having our own child armies and bullshit like that. Because that would
like literally everything, like Bitcoin. Bitcoin right there is like an example of unrestrained capitalism.
Yeah.
Like you get all these fucking people that will invest in one little thing, and then they're taken advantage of by some person that usually has a whole shit ton of them, and then that person sells immediately, and all those people that invested in there are fucking broke now. They're gone. That's the sort of shit you want to avoid, and that can be controlled.
Yep. That's kind of like what our currency is, like the dollar, right? The dollar is controlled capitalism when you get down to it.
Mm-hmm.
It's saying the dollar is worth X value. Now, do I personally agree that it is based on what is essentially our Federal Reserve's goodwill?
Mm-hmm.
That bothers me a little bit. Yes, I think the dollar should be backed up by some kind of backing currency like a gold or silver, something. Right, but that changed in the 70s with Nixon, where he just basically said, "Yeah, the dollar's worth what we say it is."
Mm-hmm.
I was like, "Well, you could say we kind of earned that as being, the United States has kind of earned to be able to do that, but at the same time, I just wish there was something that could back it, like
just in case, like say China pulls some shit." Or
there you go.
Trying to constantly.
The Chinese government is communist government that but employs capitalist principles. The problem is they exert too much control over their the thing. Eventually, it's going to fail.
It's also very, very, very insular. You will not make any fucking money unless you have a friend in the Chinese government.
Right. And then I'm gonna tell you folks right now. Watch Hong Kong closely.
Mm-hmm. Very closely.
Very closely. Ignore. I mean, I'm not going to say like, okay, the Epstein stuff is bad shit. Because bad people do some bad shit. I'm not saying don't ignore. Don't keep our eye on that. Keep the side eye on that. But very closely, watch what's going on in Hong Kong, because if that blows up, there's going to be some shit.
Like the fucking Taiwanese fleet being unleashed on China.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking level of shit.
Yeah.
Like John Bolton finally being allowed to unleash the Mongolians. Level of shit. Everyone thinks that he was in there for a trade mission. No. He was there to get the Mongolians help.
Yeah, yeah. The whole thing with the thing with Hong Kong. I'll be honest with you. I remember in 1999 that I said when Britain pulled out, I said, this is a mistake. This is a mistake. This is a mistake. This is a mistake. I said, this is not a good idea. Don't leave. Don't leave. Don't leave. I kept saying, I was, screaming it, please don't go. Because the deal was that essentially Britain would lease Hong Kong for 99 years, right? And then they would give it back to the Chinese. But that Chinese was an emperor. It was not the current People's Republic of China. So I say that deal was broken, in my opinion.
No, Xi Jinping's kind of emperor. The new emperor. He's pretty much president for life.
Yeah, he kind of made himself president for life, didn't he?
All he needs to do is convince everyone he's got the mandate from heaven.
Yep. But no, but what I'm saying is, like, they didn't have a deal with the communist government of China. They had a deal with the,
Whoa.
But they should have gave it back. They should have gave it to Taiwan if they were going to give it to anybody.
Dude, that's actually a cool idea for a story. It'd be like Neo Three Kingdoms. Mm-hmm. China splits into a civil war.
Yeah.
Over Xi Jinping declaring himself the new emperor. Somebody more talented than me write that, because I would try and I would fail. Also, I'm too busy running my own shit.
Britain was hoping Hong Kong will make China more democratic. That was a mistake to think that. Absolute mistake. You cannot hope that. Don't look at the Soviet Union. Even the Soviet Union. I mean, can we really call it that capitalism or democratic?
No, it's an oligarchy.
Yeah, I mean,
like China right now, which is
yeah. So there, yeah. It's like, how can you have a? We're the People's Republic of China. Oh, the people get to pick the leader? Well, you see.
People chose the leader several years ago, and we're just going to stick with that choice.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
And the people, we mean the Communist Party of China.
Yep. I say, what was that? I saw some. Yeah, okay, yeah. So the Neo Three Kingdoms could be a great story if done like Akira. Yeah. Might have hit on a good idea there, Xavier.
Like I said, that's something that I think somebody other than me should write, but I think it's something that should be written, because there's a lot about Chinese culture I'd have to research that I don't want to.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got my own stories to tell.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Hong Kong is a collapse. It's crazy that YouTube has removing vids of China.
Just put me in the acknowledgements. That's all I ask. Just put me in the acknowledgements.
It's crazy that YouTube has been removing the vids of China rolling in the APCs. But there's a reason why that's happening, because, YouTube is owned by Google, and Google is basically owned by the Chinese.
They want to be.
It might as well be. I mean, I find it funny. Google and all these companies will resist stuff like, for example, like the FBI wants records of XYZ, this murderer, this killer, this whatever. Oh, you're going to have to get a warrant. The Chinese say we want this. Like, all right.
They bend over fucking backwards.
Yep.
Because they think that they'll get that Chinese money.
Yeah, guess what?
Is rapidly being fucking devalued. Holy
shit. The Chinese, I mean, God, I wish Cab was here. He gets to explain the whole Chinese thing better than I ever could. But,
let's save that for another time. Let's bug him to tell us about the Chinese problem.
Yeah. Cab, please tell us about the Chinese. Remember, they are bankrolling Hollywood. This is true. This is true. That's why that whole like them playing up in Thor: Love and Thunder like we're gonna officially make Valkyrie LGBTQ plus LMNOP character. No, they're not.
No, they're not.
No, they're not.
Not if they're gonna sell in China.
If they're gonna sell in China, they're not gonna do that.
They're going to say it just so they can convince people to get.
I'll give you an example of Chinese censorship, Mike. You remember Wrath of the Lich King?
Yep.
It came out here 2008, I think it was around around that.
About that?
It did not release in China until 2011.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because of all the shit that they had to do to change the game, because bones are taboo.
Oh yes.
And Wrath of the Lich King was full of nothing but undead and stuff. So yeah. So it took them 4 years to fucking, or 3 to 4 years to fucking get that shit out of there.
What else? And they're really scared of ghosts for some reason.
Yeah, don't like ghosts. The pandas.
Anything that involves pandas?
It was a long time before they even allowed anthropomorphic pandas.
They're obsessed with their bears. They hate ghosts. Yep. If it features a zombie, they're not allowed. It's not allowed because it's a type of ghost.
Yep.
They're trying.
Like like before in a character in like let's say Warcraft, when it dies, the skeleton is left behind when you go and respawn. No, in China you get a tombstone,
which is aesthetically pleasing in a sort of sense, because then when you see a fucking guild wipe, there's just like a fucking graveyard props out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
But the whole thing is to try and defeat the evils of superstition.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there you go. They were going to ban Mr. Pandaria because it could be viewed as hurting pandas.
Yes.
Except the pandas were, fighting back, but we don't want to.
No, just don't want to fucking.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I think that's enough for tonight before we all go crazy. So yeah, guys, thank you for showing up. We appreciate you. We will be more than likely back tomorrow night. I think Piper will join us as long as she can get the AC working again, and all that good stuff. So,
and she's okay. She's all right.
She's okay. She's all right. I'm sure you've seen her back on Twitter. I'm not gonna say everything's good, but she's okay. But leave it at that. So anyway,
that's all
guys,
we can have.
Yeah.
Hope for.
Anyway, guys, y'all have a good one, and we will see you tomorrow night.
Later.
Bye-bye.